So the K-Rated Community Project started actually before the pandemic, and we came together with the Early Learning Coalition of Orange County and wanted to do something different to affect change for young children because half of our children start kindergarten without the skills that they need to succeed. And this has been the case for decades. And so what we wanted to do was take a different approach and use all of the stakeholders in the community and really think about what can we do differently so that we change the outcome, so that we really help all children, not just children in certain neighborhoods, but all children get the early learning and care that they need so that they're ready for kindergarten and ready for success in school and in life and ongoing. Right after the pandemic, we had some great partners in the Helios Education Foundation. And because so much happened after the pandemic, in the early care and education industry. And then right afterwards, we had just a massive teacher exodus and shortage. And so Helios wanted to work with us to figure out what's the impact of what's happened since the pandemic on the industry and what are the needs and what can we do. They really wanted some recommendations around what can we do to help and to really improve the industry and make it better. The industry has never been fully funded so that we can offer quality care for all children. Even with VPK, which only funds 4-year-olds and only part days. So that does not fix the issues of the industry. And then because there's not enough funding, then it's not affordable for parents. Early care and education or childcare for any child can cost as much as college. It can cost as much as 30% of a household's income. That's as much as rent or food. It's just completely unaffordable, and it's because we have never fully invested in the industry like we do in other industries. And so this is an industry that we really need to fix that problem and invest in it like we do in affordable housing and transportation and health care. We need childcare to be a priority and be fully invested in. The other finding that we found was the teacher shortage. During the pandemic and after the pandemic, because the pay is so low, on average here in Orange County, it's about $24,000 a year. So because the pay is so low, after the pandemic, they could go anywhere and make more than that. So right now, what we found was there's about 1,000 teacher shortage in Orange County alone. The teacher shortage then translates into childcare seat shortage. So for the first time ever, we don't have enough seats for the children and the families that need early care and education. And so we need to do something about that. And it's mostly because of the teacher shortage that we now don't have enough spots for all the kids that need it, that are 0 to 5. And then the final thing that we found is because there's not enough spots, enrollment is down. And so these childcare providers, which are mostly small childcare centers, their revenue is down because their enrollment's down. So now they're struggling economically just to keep the doors open. And so our recommendations are all around those 4 areas to really help the teachers, help with funding, help the providers stay afloat, and help with affordability. We've got this great infrastructure, which again is mostly small, privately owned businesses, mostly women minority-owned businesses that are struggling right now. So we've got the infrastructure, they've got the passion and the mission, and they care about kids. They just need additional funding. They need the teachers, and they need some support. And so the low-hanging fruit is let's give them some support. Let's give them business support like shared services to help with their bookkeeping and help with their marketing and get their enrollment up. Let's help them hire the teachers that they need. So we build a recruitment and a career development pipeline. Let's get some additional funding in there from employers, for instance, so that we can pay teachers better. The providers can afford to pay teachers better. And then let's build a group of advocates here locally so we can advocate with Orange County, we can advocate in the cities, as well as at the state and federal level, so we get some additional funding into the system that way. So involve the stakeholders because we've all got skin in this game. So involve the employers, work with them so that they have family-friendly practices, so that they have a mechanism and a platform to offer stipends or scholarships or matching funds so that one of their workers can then better afford to go to childcare. And then that infuses more funding into the system that we can work with. And so if we help the teachers, help the providers, and then help get additional funding into the system is what we're wanting to do here. If we don't fix this problem in childcare and early learning, then we're never going to, fully recover from the economic impact of the pandemic. It's going to impact our workforce. It's going to impact our social, economic disparities in our community. So our call to action is make it a priority. Let childcare be at the table, just like all these other issues are at the table. Get engaged in advocacy at the local level and at the state level so that we can change the policies, we can increase the funding into the system, and we can really invest in this industry and this infrastructure that's already there for the sake of our children and for the sake of our working parents, for the sake of our businesses and our entire community.